In this video, we see Bobby Fischer versus Miguel Najdorf game. So this game was played in 1962 in Bulgaria. So without wasting time, let's dive into the game. So Fischer play with white pieces and Miguel Najdorf play with black. So Bobby Fischer starts with e4, c5 Sicilian defense, knight to f3, d6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4. Knight to f6, knight to c3. Sicilian defense open variation. a6 to cover this b5 square. So this is called Sicilian defense open Najdorf variation. h3 to cover this g4 square to prevent bishop and knight. b5 create space for bishop. Knight to d5, bishop to b7. Knight takes knight check, g takes knight. So neither of open his g file. So rook can come on g8, then create attack on g file. So Fischer continue with c4, b takes c4, bishop takes c4, bishop takes c4, and target is on g2. But Fischer castles king side. d5 create pressure on bishop and also support his bishop. So Fischer continue with rook to e1. If black take this bishop, then Fischer also take this bishop. So bishop would lose his support from pawn. e5 and create pressure on knight. But Fischer didn't save any piece, bishop and knight, and continue with queen to a4 check, knight to d7, and here. Pause the video and think Fischer's next move. So Fischer continue with rook takes bishop and Najdorf take this rook. So now Najdorf is up in material exchange. So Fischer continue with knight to f5, bishop to c5, knight to g7 check, king to e7, knight to f5 check, king to e8, and Fischer continue with bishop to e3 and offer for bishop exchange. So Najdorf exchange the offer. Bishop takes bishop, f takes bishop, queen to b6, rook to d1, and the pressure on pinned knight. Rook to a7, create support on knight, but Fischer continue his attack with rook to d6 and create pressure on queen and also on f6. Queen to d8, queen to b3, and the pressure on f7. Queen to c7, and Fischer give a check with bishop takes f7. So king has only two options. If king move to f8, then bishop to h5 comes and direct threat is checkmate because king has no mouse. If Najdorf continue with knight to b6 to protect this f7 square, but queen to f7 comes and the Fischer can sacrifice his queen. So after moving queen, this d8 square becomes supportless. So rook to d8 comes and king has no mouse. So black has to move his queen. Then rook takes queen and checkmate. But after bishop to f7 check, Najdorf move his king on d8 and Fischer's final move. Bishop to e6 and after bishop to e6 check, Najdorf resigned here. Because knight is pinned, and if Najdorf move his queen and support this knight with his rook, then queen to b6 comes and a fork on rook. If Najdorf move his rook, then also rook takes knight check, and if king to e8 And here bishop to f7 comes, then king to f8, queen to d6 is mate. And if king takes rook, then also queen to d6 is mate. And if neither of move his queen on rook takes knight check, and if king to c8, then knight to e7 is mate. And if king moves, then queen takes queen, and after rook takes queen, rook takes rook, and black can't prevent this checkmate because all squares are covered. And if king moves, then rook to c8 is mate. And if rook comes to f8, then also rook to c8 is mate. But after bishop to e6, neither resigned here. So if you like the game, then subscribe for more games, and bye for now.